10 cards, all under $1 this fall, and by that I mean today. It's Jordan in 10 super slept on cards under $1.
Alright, enough of that, but you heard the movie trailer, man. Today we've got for you a cheeky list of some fun Magic cards that are all under $1. Actually, they're all under 50 cents, but I don't want to brag, so let's not waste any more time and dive right in. As per usual, this video is brought to you by the EDH Jank Center, your source for everything Commander and everything Jank, and I'm your host, Jordan, so let's get into it. Our first card today is a more recent selection. It is Scroll Shift, 2 and a white instant from March of the Machine. It says, exile up to 1 target artifact, creature, or enchantment you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control, draw a card. I swear I went over the entire March of the Machine set list, but it always seems like certain cards just slip right through the cracks. This guy is one of those guys, man. Pretty simple and straightforward here, guys. This is another awesome blink spell for blink decks. I love it because we're not limited to a specific kind of card here. We can blink an artifact, an enchantment, or a creature. I specifically like the idea of blinking a Saga with this because not only would the counters reset on the Saga, but we also snag some card draw off of Scroll Shift. Cards that replace themselves are some of my favorites because they are just so efficient. Anyways, let's move on to the next card, which is our cheapest card of the day. It's Floodgate, 3 and a blue creature wall. This one's from Dominaria Remastered. It has Defender. When Floodgate has flying, sacrifice it. When Floodgate leaves the battlefield, it deals damage to each non-blue creature without flying, equal to half the number of islands you control, rounded down, and it's a 0/5. So it's a board wipe on a creature that deals damage in mono blue? Literally, what? I love this card. So much fun and super janky. There's tons of ways to give this flying and tons of ways to sacrifice it the regular way. You can't go wrong here, folks, especially if we give this card Death Touch or Lifelink, then it gets really, really bonkers. Coming up next, we got Roots of Life, 1 green enchantment from Mirage. I'm gonna read the Oracle text here. It says, as Roots of Life enters the battlefield, choose Island or Swamp. Whenever a land of the chosen type an opponent controls becomes tapped, you gain 1 life. So I built my little brother Adina's Soul Steeper deck about a year and a half ago, and in the research for that deck is where I found this little gem. I know that it's a dud sometimes, but not all the time, and that's when it's amazing, okay? Honestly, I'd venture to say that in most 4-person games I've played in, at least 1 person is playing blue or black, making this card a really awesome passive life gain card. And then it really gets busted in life gain decks like Dina that can capitalize on all that value. Speaking of value, you ever heard of Tortoise Formation? It's a 3 and a blue instant from Shards of Alara, and it says creatures you control gain Shroud until end of turn, and they can't be the target of spells or abilities. It's a pretty simple deck here, guys. I mean, who needs counterspell type protection when you can cover yourself with tortoise shells? But seriously, I really dig this card. It's instant speed, cheap on the wallet, and kind of weird, just like me. Perfect for protecting your valuable pieces in a pinch. There's nothing else really to say about it. Let's move on to the next card, which is Weapon Surge, 1 red mana instant from Dragon's Maze. It says target creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn, and it has an overload cost of 1 and a red. It says you may cast this spell for its overload cost. If you do, change its text by replacing all instances of target with each. So I wrote an article for EDH Rec a little while back that features this card as a budget finisher in a Krenko Tin Street Kingpin deck. For 3 mana, we double the power of our 1/1 goblins and give them all first strike, making them much more difficult to block. I love this for token decks, and it's really great on the wallet. It can also be used in a pinch on a single creature during combat to gift it first strike, or it can be used in something like Zada to skirt around paying that overload cost. Lots of applications for this little 4-cent card. You gotta love it. All right, moving on to Symmetry Matrix, 4 colorless mana artifact from the Brothers War. Whenever a creature with power equal to its toughness enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1 generic mana. If you do, draw a card. So this card was shown to me by one of my Discord members, and if you'd like to suggest me cards to review in videos, the link to join is in the description, folks. It's a really good time. You should join the Discord. Anyways, and I was blown away by yet another card I missed from a recent set. Listen, if you have extra mana, it's very simple, and you have some symmetrical creatures like tokens, for example, you can be drawing a good number of extra cards. It's really as simple as that. I absolutely mess with this card, dude. Ooh, I am stuffed up today, guys. So sorry about the stuffiness. All right, Moving on to the next card, which is RIT of Passage. 1 blue mana enchantment aura. This one's from Dissension. It says enchant creature. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, if its power is 2 or less, it's unblockable this turn. And it has forecast. 1 in a blue, reveal RIT of Passage from your hand. Target creature with power 2 or less is unblockable this turn. Play this ability only during your upkeep and only once each turn. So listen. This is the Jank Center. Remember, we look at Jank. Okay. As an aura, this is good. Like, it gives a small boy a chance to get in for combat damage, which we love. But what I really love about this card is that it skirts around casting. So you can use this forecast ability, because it is an activated ability, to skirt around stacks, pieces, and the like. And also just gotta give a shout out to this old Ravnica art. I absolutely mess with it, and I'm very excited to be returning to Ravnica in any capacity in the next few years. All right, now we're moving on to No Rest for the Wicked, which is 1 in a black enchantment. This one's from 10th edition. It says sacrifice No Rest for the Wicked. Return to your hand all creature cards that were put into your graveyard from play this turn. Hey you. Have you or a family member ever been affected by a board wipe? You and your family may be entitled to compensation. Okay, maybe not by me, but instead, let me direct you to this cheeky little 2-drop enchantment. Whether we're sacrificing a bunch of creatures and bringing them back to sacrifice again, or you're instant speed recovering from a board wipe, this card is cheap in mana and money and comes in clutch when you need it most. And it synergizes a lot with all the recent enchantment support in Wilds of Eldraine. And if you like really creepy art, pow, this one's for you, kiddos. All right, second to last card of the day, folks. It is Greatsword of Tyr. It is 1 in a white artifact equipment from Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate. Whenever equipped creature attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it and tap up to 1 target creature defending player controls. And the equip cost is just 1 white mana. Voltron, Voltron, Voltron. This is a little draft common that I think belongs in some budget Voltron builds, folks. This guy does double duty in one swing by both beefing up whatever creature it's equipped to and tapping down, ideally, the most problematic blocker to make it easier to get in for damage. I love equipment like this that can scale up throughout a game instead of just a static +1/+1 buff. It's utility, baby. We gotta love it. And Baldur's Gate continues to be absolutely goated for budget cards. Speaking of budget cards, the EDH Jank Center Discord is a place where we talk about budget cards. It's a public Discord of a bunch of people that love budget, janky, and underutilized cards. We talk about sets, spoilers, cards, budget brews, and anything and everything under the MTG sun. We also host monthly giveaways of fun MTG product every single month. Also, guys, if you want to support all that fun stuff we do here at the Jank Center, including long-form videos, shorts, Discord giveaways, and the like, feel free to check out the Patreon. We have a $1 and $3 tier to keep it super accessible for you. Patrons of the channel get an additional entry in giveaways, but you do not need to be a patron to get in on the action. So, if any of this sounds appealing to you, the link is in the description and I will see you in there. All right, kiddos, with the obligatory plug out of the way, let's move on to our last card of the day, which is also our most expensive card of the day. It's Engulf the Shore, 3 in a blue instant from Shadows over Innistrad. It says return to their owner's hands all creatures with toughness less than or equal to the number of islands you control. Okay, first of all, is anyone else's thalassophobia being triggered right now by this artwork? That is so scary. Anyways, the second card on this list, that's for my mono blue kiddos out there. This is a fun little board wipe, and yes, I know it's janky, and yes, I know it's not that efficient, but that's the brand around these parts, and I'm sticking to it. Ain't nothing y'all can do about that. And that's about it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys dug this content, make sure you give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what cards you love that are under $1. Did I miss anything? I'm always down there in the comments interacting with you guys, so come on down and have a chat with me. And don't forget to join the EDH Jank Center Discord at the link in my description, guys. And that's it for me. I will see you on the next video.